The secret to wealth and power is not found in the world around you. It is born in the silence of your belief, the fire of your desire, and the mastery of your own mind. The first and most vital truth you must absorb is this: all wealth is first conceived in the imagination. Every dollar, every empire, every monument of power that stands today was once only a thought, formed in the quiet chambers of the human mind. If you are to understand the secret to wealth and power, you must come to see your mind not as a passive tool, but as the original factory of riches, the birthplace of dominion. Let no man deceive you into believing that wealth is the product of chance, and do not make the mistake of thinking power is handed down through bloodlines or mere fortune. These are illusions of the weak. The truth, which has been proven through the lives of the greatest builders, dreamers, and kings, is that the mind of man is the sole origin of all that is valuable. The world you see is but the outer reflection of the inner convictions of its most determined souls. It begins with belief, not a vague hope, not a faint wish, but a fiery, unshakable belief, a knowing that you were born to prosper, that you have the right, the capacity, and the mental faculties to attract great wealth and command influence. Until you believe it with such conviction that it becomes a part of your identity, all outward striving is in vain. The poor man in mind will sabotage every opportunity with doubt. The weak man in spirit will forfeit every crown with fear, but the man who believes in his power, he is the one the world cannot resist. Understand this: every thought you dwell on becomes a silent command to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it obeys. If you dwell on lack, failure, and limitation, you are planting the seeds of poverty, and those seeds will grow not because the universe is cruel, but because you commanded them to. But if you dwell on riches, advancement, and self-mastery, your mind becomes fertile ground for prosperity, and the harvest will come in due time, for the laws of thought are as fixed as the laws of gravity. There is no escape from this truth. You are a magnet. You are continually drawing to yourself the sum total of your dominant thoughts. The man who holds the image of success in his mind, who nurtures it, believes in it, and acts upon it, he becomes success. The man who rehearses defeat and scarcity becomes its permanent resident. If you wish to know what you truly believe, do not look at your words. Look at your results. If your life is void of abundance, it is not the world that has withheld it from you. It is your own belief system that has rejected it. Your outer world is your inner world reflected. Your financial state, your influence, your confidence, each is a mirror showing you what you have permitted yourself to believe is possible. So how does one change this? How does one go from mental poverty to mental wealth, from timid obscurity to commanding power? The process is simple, though not easy. You must discipline your thoughts as a general disciplines his soldiers. No stray idea must be allowed to linger. No whisper of doubt must be entertained. Every morning you must rise and remind yourself, I am the master of my mind. I am the captain of my soul. I am destined to prosper. These are not mere affirmations. These are tools of mental reprogramming. With enough repetition and emotion, they sink deep and begin to change your subconscious blueprint. Couple your belief with vision. See the life you desire in vivid detail. Feel the weight of wealth in your hands. Hear the applause of influence in your ears. Walk through the halls of your imagined empire until it becomes more real than the one you inhabit. This is not fantasy. This is the first step to reality. All men of power lived in their vision long before it came to pass. They spoke of things unseen as though they were already here, and the world, in time, caught up to their vision. But belief without action is delusion. Once the belief has been formed, you must move. Move in faith. Move with boldness. Opportunities will not come to the idle. They will appear to the man who is already on the path, already working, already expecting. Fortune favors the brave, not because bravery creates magic, but because bravery proves belief. Above all, remember, no one can give you belief. No one can implant in you the certainty of your own power. That is a decision only you can make. The moment you decide, truly decide that you are worthy of wealth and built for power, the universe begins to shift in your favor. It may not be instant, but it will be inevitable. For the man who believes deeply, acts boldly, and thinks richly, he cannot be denied. There is a force more powerful than intellect, more enduring than luck, and more unstoppable than talent. It is burning desire. Nothing great has ever been created, conquered, or commanded without it. Every empire, every invention, every fortune that changed the course of the world began not with skill or circumstance, but with an inner fire that refused to die. Desire is the spark that ignites the soul and sets destiny in motion. You must understanding it is not enough to simply want to succeed. Mere wishing is the pastime of the idle. Vague hopes are the lullabies of the defeated. Those who casually wish for riches will find themselves always one step behind, always explaining why the world did not give them what they imagined they deserved. But the man who desires with intensity, who wants success like a starving man wants food, like a drowning man wants air, that man becomes a magnet to the means that fulfill his purpose. Desire is the beginning of greatness, but not just any desire will do. It must be definite, white-hot, and all-consuming. It must rise from within and claim your mind with such power that no obstacle can outlast it. When you possess such a desire, you become immune to discouragement. Failure is no longer the end. It becomes the forge in which your will is strengthened. This type of desire does not wait for permission, it does not shrink in the face of delay, it stands upright, declares its intention, and backs it with relentless motion. Those who have climbed from the gutters of poverty to the palaces of prosperity did so not because they had better opportunities, but because they had a greater desire. The world bends for the man who refuses to accept anything less than the fulfillment of his vision. You must fan this desire daily. Like a flame, it needs fuel. Feed it with vivid images of the life you're building. Speak of your vision aloud. Write it, see it, feel it. Make it real long before the world calls it real. Keep company only with those who fan your flame, not those who smother it with doubt or mockery. And above all, protect your desire from the poison of indecision, for indecision is the grave in which dreams are buried. Understand that your burning desire must evolve into a purpose, a mission so clear that it guides your every step. You are not here to drift, you are not here to survive, you are here to build, lead, and conquer. Your desire must be so precise that you can measure it, name it, and plan for it. General hopes lead to general results. Specific desire backed by absolute faith leads to uncommon power. It is also true that the strength of your desire will be tested. You will encounter resistance, criticism, and even temporary defeat. But do not fear these things. They are not signs of failure. They are signs that the universe is checking your resolve. Only the man with a burning desire will press forward when the path becomes dark. Many begin, few continue, and only the obsessed arrive. And what of those who appear to have more talent, more money, more connections? Let them have it. Desire is the great equalizer. Talent without drive is wasted potential. Money without purpose is lost quickly. Connections without commitment fall apart, but a burning desire transforms any man into a force of nature. The world has witnessed the weak rise to power and the unknown become legends, not by chance, but by an unquenchable hunger to be more, have, and do more. If you are truly serious about achieving wealth and power, you must make a solemn vow to yourselfing. I will not stop until I possess that which I came here to create. This is not ambition for ego's sake. This is the sacred duty of a man who knows he was not born to live a small life. Your desire must become your identity. You must speak from it, work through it, and rest only long enough to refuel it. Be warning, the masses will not understand you. They will call your desire selfish, unrealistic, or even dangerous. Let them talk. Let them live their lukewarm lives. You were not made for mediocrity. You were not placed on this earth to merely exist. You were designed to leave a mark. And it is your burning desire that will carve your name into history. Never apologize for wanting more. Never shrink your vision to fit the limitations of others. Desire is not greed. Desire is divine. It is the voice of your future calling you forward. And those who answer that call, who fuel the flame and walk through the fire, they emerge as kings, not just in wealth, but in spirit. So stir the coals within. Reignite what the world tried to extinguish. Let your desire blaze so bright that it lights the path not only for yourself, but for generations to come. Let it be known that when others hesitated, you moved. When others slept, you labored. When others quit, you pressed on. Not because it was easy, but because your desire was stronger than your doubt. For in the end, the man with burning desire becomes unstoppable, more than reluctant, and the world always makes for the man who knows exactly what he wants and refuses to live without it. There comes a time in every man's pursuit of greatness when the flame of enthusiasm flickers. The days grow long, the results seem distant, and the path ahead feels lonely. It is in this moment, not in the beginning, not at the finish, but in the hard, grueling middle, that the true divide between the merely hopeful and the truly powerful is revealed. That divide is called persistence. Persistence is the invisible bridge between where you are and everything you want to become. It is not glamorous. It is not loud. It does not arrive with trumpets or applause. But it is the one trait that every man of wealth and power has mastered. It is the ability to keep going, not just once or twice, but relentlessly until the goal bends to your will. Many people dream. Many people start, but few have the strength to continue when the emotion fades and the resistance grows. It is easy to be inspired on day one. It is easy to write goals, to read books, to declare your intentions to the world. But all that is child's play compared to the raw endurance required to stay the course through hardship, doubt, delay, and defeat. Every great man has met with failure. Not once, but many times, yet they persist. They understand a truth that most never grasp. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the refinement of it. It is the test of your commitment. It asks you one question and one question only. How badly do you want this? And your answer is not spoken. Your answer is shown in whether or not you keep moving forward. You must see persistence as your silent ally. It does not need recognition and it does not need reward. It feeds off vision and discipline. Each day you persist, even in the smallest of actions. You are building a strength that compounds. You are forging a will so unbreakable that no obstacle can withstand it. The man who outlasts his opposition always wins, not because he was faster, not because he was stronger, but because he was still standing when others surrendered. Persistence is not emotion, it is decision. It is a daily choice to show up, to push, to do what is necessary even when you do not feel like it. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation is temporary, but a man of purpose, a man of burning desire, fuels his persistence with vision, discipline, and self-respect. He does not negotiate with laziness. He does not flirt with excuses. He understands that what must be done, no matter the weather of his emotions. And know this, life will test you most just before the breakthrough. The darkest hour comes just before dawn. The longest silence comes right before the world responds. This is why so many give up too soon. They quit when they are inches from the treasure. They surrender the dream because they confuse delay with denial. But you must know better. Delay is never denial for the man who persists. Delay is only proof that the reward is being sharpened to match your endurance. Look around you. Every success story you admire is built upon 1,000 moments of quiet persistence. You see the glory. You do not see the agreement. You see the mansion. You do not see the years of bricklaying. But make no mistake. Behind every display of power and wealth is a foundation laid in sweat, sacrifice, and a refusal to give up. Let this truth sink deep. Persistence is more powerful than genius, more vital than connections, more necessary than luck, because persistence will create the opportunities that others are waiting for. It will turn doors into doorways. It will make a way where none seem to exist, and it will mold you into the kind of man who doesn't chase success, but attracts it. But persistence must be intelligent. It is not blind repetition. It is not stubbornness. It is consistent, focused adaptation. When one plan fails, the persistent man does not abandon the goal. He finds another method. He learns, adjusts, recalibrates, and strikes again. He does not stop. He does not retreat. He evolves. So I ask y'all, can you stay the course? Can you work in silence while the world doubts you? Can you labor without applause, push without recognition, and strive when no one sees your effort? Because if you can, you possess something far rarer than talent. You possess the character of greatness. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be the most skilled or the most brilliant. You need only be the one who refuses to quit. That is the man who writes his name in history. That is the man the world cannot ignore. That is the man who wakes up one day and realizes everything he once dreamed is now his reality, not because it was easy, but because he persisted through every difficulty until it came to pass. Never forgetting, the path to wealth and power is not walked in leaps, but in footsteps repeated daily. Those who persist eventually arrive, and once you arrive, no one can ever say you didn't earn it. For you paid in full. You paid in patience, you paid in perseverance, and that, my friend, is a currency more valuable than gold. There is a force within you more potent than any external condition. It is not luck, it is not circumstance, it is definite purpose, married to decisive, consistent action. Every man who has ever tasted greatness, who has ever held wealth or commanded power, began by determining exactly what he desired, and then moved with unshakable faith toward it. The man without purpose drifts like a ship with a broken rudder. He is pulled by the tides of other men's opinions, carried by the wind of distractions, and lost in the fog of uncertainty. He may work hard, but he works aimlessly. He may be intelligent, but his intelligence scatters in all directions. He may be good-hearted, but even good intentions mean nothing when they are not anchored by clear direction. A man without purpose is powerless, but the moment you decide, truly decide, what you want, and resolve to pursue it with every fiber of your being, you activate something rare, something magnetic. You awaken forces both seen and unseen. The mind aligns, the body follows, the circumstances shift, and the universe responds to the man who knows where he's going. A definite purpose is not a casual preference. It is not a fleeting goal. It is a mission, carved into your soul. You must know it with such clarity that you can describe it at any moment, in precise detail. You must be able to see it with your inner eye, to feel it with every decision you make, and to believe in it with the depth of your spirit. This clarity becomes your compass. It keeps you on track when the path becomes foggy. It silences the noise of the world because you know exactly where you are going. But clarity alone is not enough. You must act. Action is the great separator. Millions of men have dreams, but only a few put those dreams into motion. Only the man who acts with purpose turns thought into substance, turns ideas into income, turns desire into domination. Action is the muscle of intention. It gives form to the invisible, and when repeated, it gives power to the one who takes it. You must act boldly. The world does not reward hesitation. It does not elevate the cautious. The man of definite purpose moves with a quiet fury. He may be misunderstood, he may be mocked, but he is never ignored. People sense his conviction. They may not understand it, but they feel it. His energy speaks before he opens his mouth. His decisions are swift because they are guided by purpose. And where others wait for opportunity, he creates it through action. Let me be clear, no man has ever stumbled into wealth or power by accident. He built it, brick by brick, action by action, failure by failure, because he was obsessed with his purpose. He was willing to pay the price in discomfort, in sacrifice, in rejection, because he had already paid the price of indecision and found it too expensive. He understood that purpose without action is self-deception, and action without purpose is wasted motion. The two must be united. Your definite purpose must also be backed by a plan. Do not mistake vague dreaming for strategy. You must know what steps to take today, this week, this month. You may not know all of them, but you must know the next one, and then take it, relentlessly, ruthlessly, repeatedly, until the doors open, until the walls fall, until the dream moves from imagination into reality. And still, more is required. Your purpose must serve more than just yourself. There is a secret here that most men never discovered. The greatest power flows to the man whose purpose improves the lives of others. Wealth created in service to humanity multiplies. Power grounded in service lasts. When your purpose lifts more than just your own fortunes, the world conspires to lift you as well. But none of this matters if you wait. You must act today, not when it's convenient, not when you feel ready. Ready is a lie. Preparedness is not a prerequisite. Decision is. Action is. Momentum is your ally, and you build it one step at a time. With each move, confidence grows, doubt fades, energy rises, and the man who once questioned himself becomes a man others follow. Let others drift. Let them dabble. Let them waste their years waiting for permission. But not you. You have a purpose, and with that purpose comes urgency, because you understand that life is not poised. Time is not guaranteed. Every day without action is a day stolen from the life you were meant to live, and that is unacceptable to a man of vision. You do not need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. You do not need to know how it will all come together. You only need to know what you want and move toward it with everything you have. The how reveals itself in the doing. The path opens for the one who walks it, and the power you seek is not waiting for you at the destination. It is built inside of you with every purposeful action you take. So write your purpose, speak it, burn it into your soul, and then act. Every day, without pause, without apology, without permission. You are not here to merely exist. You are here to move with purpose and create with power. That is the way of men who are remembered. That is the way of legends. There is a power greater than any tool, any technique, or any strategy. It is not visible to the eye, yet it governs all achievement. It is the force that separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the conquerors. That force is faith. Faith in yourself and faith in the infinite intelligence that surrounds and responds to you. Faith is not hope. It is not a passive wish that something might work out. Faith is certainty without evidence. It is belief before the results arrive. It is confidence that lives inside a man before the world gives him a single reason to feel it. And when a man walks in this kind of faith, he becomes unstoppable. The man who possesses faith is not limited by what others see. He is not paralyzed by the facts, nor is he bound by appearances. He sees with his spiritual eyes, the eyes of imagination and conviction. When the world says, impossible, he smiles, not because he ignores reality, but because he understands that reality is malleable. It bends to the will of the man who believes deeply and acts boldly. Let this truth pierce your soul. You must believe in yourself when no one else does. You must become your own greatest supporter. The beginning of all wealth, all power, and all transformation is a belief that you are worthy of it. If you cannot see yourself as successful, the world never will. You will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity. You will hesitate when you should strike. You will accept less than you deserve, not because others limit you, but because you limit yourself. How do you build this faith? Not through external validation, not by waiting for results to convince you. You build faith by decision. You build faith by speaking words of power to yourself every day, by affirming your vision until your mind accepts it as reality. You must declare, with emotion, that you are destined for greatness, not because of who you are now, but because of what you are becoming. You must see yourself not as you are, but as you will be, and speak from that identity. Faith is grown by repetition and emotion. Every day you must renew your belief. Every day you must read, think, speak, and act as though success is already yours. And when doubt creeps in, and it will, you must answer it with action. Faith grows strongest when it is tested. When things don't go your way, when the results are delayed, when the people around you question your sanity, that is when true faith is forged. But faith cannot stop with belief in yourself alone. You must also trust in something higher. Call it God, call it the universe, call it infinite intelligence. It does not matter the name. What matters is that you understand this. You are not alone in your pursuit. There are unseen forces working on your behalf the moment you align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with a definite purpose. You were not placed on this earth to struggle aimlessly. You were not born to be a victim of randomness. You were created with intention, equipped with a mind that can think, a heart that can feel, and a spirit that can connect with the infinite. And when you operate in harmony with that greater power, you tap into a supply of wisdom, strength, and direction that no man can ever exhaust. This is why it is vital to take time each day to be still, to quiet your mind, and to listen, to align yourself with that higher intelligence. Ask boldly for what you want. Then move with confidence that it is already on its way. The answers will come, the right people will appear, the opportunities will unfold, but only for the man who moves with expectation, not hesitation. Faith is not passive. It is not waiting on miracles. Faith is action with belief. It is the man who gets up every day and does what must be done, not because he sees the outcome, but because he knows the outcome is certain. He speaks abundance while living in scarcity. He speaks victory while walking through resistance. He speaks life into every dream until that dream becomes flesh. And even more, faith turns adversity into advantage. The man of faith sees trials as training. He sees obstacles as instruction. He understands that the very struggle he faces is shaping the strength he needs to carry what he has asked for. The man without faith runs from difficulty. The man with faith welcomes it, masters it, and uses it. Understand this: the world does not bend for the doubter. It does not give power to the man who questions his worth. It gives power to the man who walks in the certainty of who he is becoming, who lives from the reality of the unseen, and who refuses to be ruled by fear. Let your faith be louder than your doubt. Let it burn so brightly that it lights the path for others to follow. Do not beg for proof. Become the proof. Live in such a way that your results leave no room for explanation other than faith. You are not alone. You never were. And when you move in harmony with belief in yourself and the infinite, there is nothing you cannot have, build, or become. That is the invisible force. And that force, once mastered, becomes your greatest ally on the road to wealth and power. If there is one truth that separates those who rule from those who are ruled, it is this: he who masters his mind masters his world. All success, all riches, all influence are not first won in the marketplace, but in the hidden battlefield of the mind. The throne of power is not built with bricks or steel, but with thoughts. Disciplined, directed, and deliberate. Your mind is the one asset you own entirely. It cannot be taken from you. It cannot be taxed or stolen, but it can be wasted. And tragically, most men do exactly that. They allow their minds to wander without aim, absorb the fears of others, entertain distractions, and submit to emotion without restraint. In doing so, they surrender their greatest weapon. They become prisoners in a cage they refuse to see. To rise, to build, to reign, you must seize command of your mind. You must become its master, not its servant. You must recognize that every thought you allow is either building your empire or dismantling it. There is no neutrality in thought. What you think consistently, you become permanently. The first act of mastery is observation. You must watch your thoughts like a sentry guards a gate. Ask yourself, is this thought building me or breaking me? If it is fear, replace it with courage. If it is doubt, inject it with faith. If it is laziness, confront it with purpose. Most men react. They allow emotion to drive them, but you must respond with awareness. This is the beginning of mental dominion. Your thoughts become beliefs. Your beliefs become habits. Your habits become results. Trace back any failure and you will find it began with an undisciplined mind. Trace back any great success, and you will find a man who ruled over his thoughts like a king over a kingdom. Control does not mean suppression. It means selection. You must choose what you dwell on. You must decide what gets your attention. Most people give their best mental energy to nonsense, to criticism, gossip, distraction, and worry. But the man of power invests his mind only in solutions, strategies, and self-mastery. He feeds his mind with strength, with vision, with clarity, and what he feeds grows. The second act of mastery is direction. A powerful mind is a focused mind. You must train your thoughts to move toward your purpose like a stream carves through rock. This is not natural at first. The mind resists direction. It wants novelty, not discipline. But through repetition, you condition it, you align it, and once it is aligned, once your mind serves your mission, you will be capable of achievements that once seemed impossible. Mental mastery also demands environment. You must protect your mind as you would a valuable garden. Surround yourself with people who elevate your thinking. Immerse yourself in books, speeches, and materials that reinforce your beliefs. Cut off toxic influence. What enters your mind shapes what exits your life. Never forget this: you are the sum of the thoughts you entertain and the environments you accept. To master your mind, you must also master your self-talk. Words are power. The conversations you have with yourself shape your self-image, and your self-image controls every decision. Never speak defeat over your life. Speak victory. Speak abundance. Speak certainty. Even when you feel weak, declare strength. This is not deception. It is direction. You are not lying to yourself. You are leading yourself. And then there is emotion, the wild horse of the mind. You must learn to ride it, not be dragged by it. Emotions are signals, but they are not commanders. Feel them, learn from them, but never be ruled by them. The man who stays calm in chaos, focused in fear, and steady under pressure is the man who leads nations. Emotional mastery is the crown jewel of mental mastery. Finally, there is imagination. It is not a child's toy. It is the architect of destiny. Whatever you vividly imagine, you begin to believe. Whatever you believe long enough, you begin to act upon. And whatever you act upon consistently, you create. So do not waste your imagination on worry and worst-case scenarios. Use it to paint the life you desire, and then breathe life into that image every day until it becomes real. There are no limits to a mastered mind. The body may tire, the environment may shift, circumstances may change, but the man who rules his mind remains unshaken. He adapts, he persists, he wins, not by chance but by intentional mental control. Most men are slaves to doubt, fear. Be the extraction. Take your rightful place as the master. Build a mind that serves you, not sabotages you. Feed it truth. Discipline it with purpose. Guard it with everything you have. And one day, you will wake up in a life others only dream of. Not because you were lucky, but because you trained your mind to make it inevitable. In the end, The greatest power you will ever wield is not over others, it is over yourself. Master that and the world bows in response.